Brian from Haunted Homes. We're doing something very different this weekend. As you can see, we're in a World War II bunker complex. It was built in work started in 1938 on the complex, finished in 1939, just before the Second World War. This was a civilian complex, not a military. After the Second World War, they filled it all in and they left everything, so it is a real World War II time capsule in places. Unfortunately, in other places, people have been in and started wrecking the place. So I think what we'll do now, we'll have a walk, We'll go and have a nosy, we'll see what there is. You see, we're just entering the complex now, so I can imagine 1940, sirens going off, foot bombs, people running down the steps, all panic, all running in here. As you can see, these are the old beds. They are better in some sections than others, but as you can see, there were 2 or 3 levels to them, so you'd have kids, you'd have families, they'd all be sat here. I would think after probably about an hour of everybody panicking, we're rushing around and sirens going off, I should imagine that it's a change in here. They won't be scared anymore. You'd have all the streets sat together, they'd all be sharing the rations, you'd have kids running around getting under people's feet. I would think it'd be like a real we're in it together community spirit, as it was in the Second World War, as you could tell after, because every street had their own street party. I mean, that doesn't happen now, so we'll keep going. I sort of just feel like it's very atmospheric. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, look, the beds are here, everything's here. I've picked some up here. There's some here. There's some here, Dean. Just pick some up here. There's some on here. I'm just going to try what like rather than before getting all the stuff out. We'll just see if we can make contact first.
We can put one out, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could put one out, Dave. Throw one out.
On here. Oh, fine.
Maybe one up there.
Might take the bunker, but yeah. It's more. Now why is that showing green and where it's cold?
Because that's just picked up. There you go, it's changed now. It's gone down by 1.1 of a degree and it's moved it. So I've picked some up here. I'm going to have to put this light down. There we go. We've got the ball going there. If that's you, can you do it again, please, so we know it's you? You might just have to stand back, Dean, because you sort of, they don't like walking past you, do they?
No.
Oh, there we go. We're off again. We definitely have a variant in temperatures as well near the ball. And what I'm going to do now to debunk it, I'm just going to walk over. I'm going to jump about a bit. This is a trigger object. Oh God! As you can tell, nothing. So we're not causing this to go off.
The floor is solid.
Yeah, it's a solid floor. So we're going to try again.
Oh.
I just picked someone up round here and it's a... Yeah. There we go. And it's a lady. There's a woman down here.
Is it Lily?
Is it... If that's you... I'm alright, yeah. If that's you, can you please step into the light again? I know you're here, I can feel you. I feel like you've got your arms around me. Got it right behind my shoulders. Can you please step back? It's a bit too much for me, I don't like it. Right, we'd like to speak to you. Can you please come forward? The lights don't hurt you. Can you step into the lights? You've been using the ball. If that's a lady who... I always say felt and it don't sound right, does it? If that's a lady that I've picked up on, can you please step into the light and make it change colour? If you've not seen it work before, I will show you. You walk in, it changes colour. You walk out, it goes back. It's a simple form of communication. As you can see, we've got the ball going off again. Nobody's moving. We've jumped about, so that's definitely something Claire's going to have to look at. I mean, we could have a fault. It could be a faulty cat ball. We just don't know, do we? Right, so we're here. I've picked this area. What we're going to use a thermal torch as a form of communication. It's simple, I'll show you how it works. Step into the light, make it change colour. Step out, make it go back to green. We ask a question, steps into the light, it changes colour of the beam. If we get any blues, there's a little bit of movement in the air, but not a lot. So what I'm looking for, if we make contact, I'm looking for reds. I want them to eat the beam up. I want them to eat the light up in the beam and make it go red. Obviously my body heat, I am now 29.7, so quite warm-blooded. What else we've got? We've got a cat ball here. So because I've touched it and moved it, that's why it's flashing. These are trigger objects. We've got one here. We've got another trigger object. So if there's any movement, I will ask them to move the cat balls. I do want them to interact with the equipment, so I've also got the Ovalis. I'm using Ovalis 5. Not very good for outside, but we are indoors. Let's see what it does. So we'll start on the dictionary mode. So I'm going to put that down here. Hopefully we're going to hear a few words. I've also got a tri-field here. I've got it on the magnetic. We're registering 0.5, so I'm hoping for fluctuations in that. To say there is a movement in energy, so it could be spirit energy. So we'll start now. So we're with a torch. Once again, I'll explain. Changes colour, with body heat, go back out, goes back to normal. Is anybody here? If so, can you step into the light, please? Please come forward, we mean you no harm. If that were you, can you use a bit more energy? Can you make it go red, please? We're not going to get any warm heat down here. So for me to feel like this is valid evidence, can you please step into the light, use a lot of energy and make it go red? If that were you again, can you please step into the light, please? Can you make it go red again? Thank you, that's brilliant. What we have there, we have a red. A red is a heat source. Thank you. He's even agreeing with us. I love it, brilliant. Are you a gentleman? If so, can you step into the light, please? Are you a lady? Oh, you're a lady. That did take some time. Thank you very much. Okay, there we go. We've got another one. She agreed. Did you work here? Was you a warden? No. Did you live round here? Did you use these bunkers in the Second World War? If so, can you step into the light? Do you like it down here because it's dark and out at work? If so, can you step into the light, please? You were a nurse, weren't you? Thank you. Thank you. You just put a picture in my head of a nurse's hat, so I appreciate that. Right then, so we come to the final section. Once again, we've got our trigger objects down. We've got one here, one in front of me, one at the side of me. I've changed the obelisk setting. What I've put it on now is true or false. True for red, true for green, false for red. How this works, once again, it's reading the environmental conditions. Spirit can adjust the environmental conditions around any machinery. So what I want him to do, or the spirit to do, or the ghost, I want it to walk to the machine to answer a question, so it goes green. I want it to step away to go red. So it's spirit energy is moving in and out to answer questions. So we're set up here. I do like this function. This is one of my favourite functions on the machine. So, and we've still got the thermal torch going. Right then, if there's anybody here, please come forward. Speaking to the machine. So the machine's now gone green. If that's you, can you make it go green again, please? Can you manipulate the machine to go green? If you want to speak to us, make it go green. Thank you very much. Right then, I've got some questions for you. Are you happy using the torch on the floor, or do you want to continue using the machine that you're using? If you want to continue using the machine, make it go green. If you want to use the torch on the floor, make it go red. You're happy using that machine, is that correct? If so, can you make it go green again for me, please? See what it's doing now, it's reading the readings around the machine and it's interpreting it into true or false questions. Right then, so we're going to start again now. Right then, I would now like you to use the green light on the floor. If you understand that, can you step into it please to confirm that you understand what I'm saying? Can you make the trigger objects go off? They don't hurt you? Well, we've had 2 different visits to this location. We've been through the entire location. We've picked up little bits of evidence. I've got some EVPs I need to listen to, the thermal gun. We've had a couple of reds, we've had some blues in places. The trigger objects have gone off. It's been a great investigation. I mean, you just have to look where you are. It's phenomenal. Can't wait for the team to review the footage. I can't wait for the independent parapsychologist to review the footage. I'm hoping Claire likes it. We don't have a lot for her, but you'll go some places, you may not get any activity. You go other places and you get loads. It's just on the night really. What history the place has that you've been in. This does have a lot of history, but we haven't had a great deal of activity on these last 2 visits. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Claire has to say, the team. I'm looking forward to seeing what the people on our page have to say. Enjoy the footage.